Hey, good morning, everybody. Time for your First Alert Forecast update. Thank you so much for being here. I am WIS First Alert Meteorologist Tony Chivaroli, and we are going to be getting at you here on this Monday, starting out the week. What a better way to kick it off than to be hanging out with me here for a little bit, right? Yeah, obviously, right? Let you know all you need to know for your First Alert Forecast situations. Now, thank you, of course, again for being here. Always appreciate you tuning in to other forms of where you can get this information because, it's not all the time. You have, a little bit more of a busy morning, can't always watch on TV. Maybe you try to catch this out on the go. And, of course, just going into this new week of July here, always want to, of course, express my thanks for you checking us out on some other platforms while you get you this information. It is very much appreciated. As we go on, we're going to be taking you down towards the Lone Star State because that's where we've seen the new impacts from an earlier landfall this morning of Hurricane Beryl. And yes, it did get back to that hurricane strength as we get on to a bit more of what will be this still holding as a Category 1 hurricane. It hasn't lost that strength just yet. Once it dips back below that 70-75 mile an hour range, which is still a weaker Category 1 storm, that's when it becomes a tropical storm, and then we'll continue to putter out more and more as it goes further towards the north. But so much of the southern Texas coastline has been impacted. Not Brownsville, though, oddly enough, or even northern portions of Mexico. This has been up a little bit further. Victoria, of course, really saw a lot of impacts for Galveston. Going into Houston now, a few million people in that metro area that are going to be impacted by the heavy rain and wind. Obviously, some flash flooding issues there. And just during the time, a lot of people are trying to start out their week, just get to work. Very, very tough for that region of Texas for this time of the day. As we make this move on, we are going to be seeing more of Beryl continuing up towards the north and cutting through a lot of Texas, then making its way later into this week through a lot of America's heartland. Nothing really with any direct impacts, of course, to the southeastern U.S., obviously anything here in South Carolina, but this is still playing a factor for us, even though that's where all the main impacts are, down that way into Texas. For what we've seen now here in a local sense, we are going to be getting a bit of some storm activity each day this week, because now, at this point of time, we're going to be getting more tropical moisture. We picked up a heavy bit of rain last night, so we're getting more of these combinations now from Mother Nature, a few curveballs here, where it's not just going to be, cut and dry and very hot. We're actually going to be starting to see the capacity to cool off a little bit during these afternoon hours. So high temperatures for some because the timing of these showers and storms can only top out actually right around 90 as opposed to around 93, the projected high I'm going with today, just because I think there's going to be a little bit more dryness holding steady. We could easily see 93 at the airport. It's not going to take much to get there and, get a little bit more hazy sun through cloud cover. So that's what we're dealing with right now. But one thing, of course, from this current pattern means at least we're going to see seasonable temperatures. So generally, a lot of what we're feeling out there is just an average for this time of the year. That's factoring in the humidity as well. We're getting closer and closer to the middle of July, so you know how it is. As we get with that, we're not going to be seeing much in the way at least of really severe storms, but we can still pick up some showers and then thunderstorm activity. It's just more of your general thunderstorms as opposed to really strong ones. So going into this morning, at least from what I've seen right now, and this is of course going into the Futurecast, I have a very good radar app on my cell phone, so I do just want to take a quick look at that just to see how accurate this has been, at least from what I've seen and what I've been projecting going into this morning. I'm not anticipating anything till the afternoon. The Futurecast wants to pop up this around 9-10 o'clock, but again, there's nothing out there right now. It is still dry, so I'm not sure where this is coming from, what data it's reading into. We're still going to see the potential to get late morning showers starting to already pop up, but more of what I'm thinking close to noon, getting towards lunchtime. And I said it during our earlier shows this morning, if you wanted to get outside for lunch plans or you need to run some errands at that point, it could be a little bit dicey as you might be running into a quick pop-up downpour or a couple storms. So got to watch out for that into our Monday afternoon as things remain isolated but still in play, and that's also going to be a factor towards commute times home for folks as well. So going along our heavily traveled interstates, that's still going to be, making things a little tougher. Always gets a little dicey just when there's a lot of cars out on the roads in general. Never going to be a better thing when you're also dealing with some factors of weather during main commute times. So we get with that. We see it overnight, calming down. Tuesday's looking good. We roll forward here Tuesday afternoon. Yet again, back into that sense of keeping eyes in the sky because we're going to see some spotty showers and storms trying to form. Still not super impressed by tomorrow. Mine honestly even dropped that back to 30% from the updates I've seen today. And then as we go into Wednesday, a little bit more back to that 40-50% range. A bit more of an impressive southerly push of winds. And I think just with the temperatures rising another degree or two, that should start to give us, just a little bit more of that lift for some storms to try and fill in later on Wednesday. But note, a lot of these situations come along with people traveling for that 9 to 5 commute home, or going out to dinner, or making, of course, a run to the store, like people tend to do later into the day, sometimes when you have more time. So just going on, make sure you are thinking about that as you plan out the rest of this week, especially in the humble beginnings of it. It's all going to be a lot of these similarities of PM, PM, PM each day. Basically these impacts really aren't going to be much of anything, if not completely dry for the morning. But as we get into the afternoon sense is when you need to start thinking about, all right, I'm in an area where we can see some thunderstorms popping up. I want to make sure I'm not caught outside. I have a safe place to be in case one of these pops up over my head. And everyone's going to be just about fair game here in the Midlands with more instability possible. We're all going to be in this same warm and muggy air mass with more of this moisture available now that could be sent up into the atmosphere. It's not dry like the past 2 weeks. Ending June, rounding things out to the start of the 4th of July, it was sweltering. It was very hot, but it was still dry because of high pressure. We didn't see much of the potential for rain and storms. We're going to start to get that a little bit more consistent into this week. So please be thinking about that. If you got some big plans outside throughout the really entirety of this week, even getting into your upcoming weekend, I'll of course let you know if there's any main changes or drop backs in these rain chances as we get on into the week. But this is what we're looking at right now. And of course, for this first alert forecast update, I appreciate you being here again. If you're looking for a bit more of in-depth information or just something to read, you could always take a check on our website, wistv.com. I've got more information on what's going on here locally. And also, if you can see right here, you can take a check. I think I could access this. I can't get it on the screen right now, but you can see Hurricane Beryl and some of that information as we're going on and tracking through that system there. And that's also, of course, something if you have family or friends down in Texas, just another bit of reference you could have to check on them. If you need more news updates, whether it be local or national, we always try to get you the most up-to-date information possible. That's going to be coming up around 9 o'clock on this same live stream. So thank you so much for taking a check in with me again on your forecast. Let's make it a great Monday together. And if you do happen to get a couple of those showers and storms, I hope you stay dry. Thanks so much.